Good morning. You are live with Color Energy, and my name is Suzanne Murphy. Now, today I thought I would talk about color and astrology. Now, why do I want to talk about color and astrology? Well, it's a question I get asked a lot. And I remember early on in my career, I studied color from every perspective. And one of the things that I found was color is associated with our astrological signs. And I thought, wow, this is really interesting. And when I delved into the subject, I'm an Aries, and I learned Aries is red. And in fact, I'm not going to go too heavy into all the dynamics, but the day I'm born is even red. So not am I just connected to the red Aries color. I'm born on a red day, and my name resonates a lot of red. So when we look at all these different things that are connected, it's interesting to see that color is connected to numerology, astrology, and all these other subjects. So when I started studying the colors and meeting people that were the different astrological signs, or knowing people of the different astrological signs, I could see how the color language really had a huge impact. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the different colors and how they associate with the different astrological signs. And Aries being what they call the first sign of the astrological signs. As I mentioned to you, it's red, and it's connected to the number 1. And red energy is all about courage and people who just sort of rush forward. And Aries being the ram, that's one of the things that they say. Aries just sort of runs ahead without thinking. Well, that is sometimes that red energy, that connection to just sort of being dynamic and outgoing and very self-confident. Well, that's me in a nutshell. So again, that connection to color and the astrological signs was amazing to me because it took it to another level. I remember this one guy saying, me and my girlfriend were both Virgos, but I don't get her. So when he and his girlfriend did the color psychology test, it was determined that they were different colors. And he said, now that makes sense to me. So we have to look at some different factors. We could be a color of an astrological sign, but we could also have a different color intelligence, which combines with our astrological sign. So there's a lot of things that we need to look at. And in fact, this was really weird to me, but when I did my color energy test, my orange and my green were lowest. When I did my planetary alignment with my astrology, orange and green were the lowest. And when I did my numerology on my name, orange and green were the lowest. So in all these different aspects, orange and green were weak in me, which again, when we go into the color language and you start to study all the personality traits that are connected to each color, you can understand why that's not those colors aren't predominant in my personality. Now, that's not to say I can't access my different colors, but even in astrology, if you're weak in a planet, if you study new astrology, there is that color connection, so you can strengthen your weak attributes by using more of those colors. So when I discovered that I was low in that orange and green, what do you think I did? Well, I immersed myself in a lot of orange and green. So I started buying clothing of those colors. I started focusing on foods of those colors. And that, again, is part of that planetary connection. Now, Taurus is a combination of red and orange. And literally what we do is we go through the spectral hue with every astrological sign. And we have our primary colors, our secondary colors, and then we have a blend of the primary and the secondary, which are called tertiary colors. So Taurus is a combination of red and yellow to be in that red-orange hue, but predominantly more orange. And some of the attributes of the Taurus are, also very similar to red because they're both those animals, like Aries is the ram and Taurus is the bull. So they're very headstrong. And so with that orange red energy, you have somebody that's very headstrong, but more playful, more, into having fun in life and enjoying life. And, again, as you study the color connection, orange and red, that combination, it's a sensory experience. My partner, who is a red orange person and who is a Taurus, it's amazing to me because he has to smell his food and he has to know that that flavor is there in his food, where me, I just cook and eat. But with somebody who is very connected to the orange energy, flavor, palate delight, that's going to be very important to them. And he definitely is more playful than I am. With myself being a strong red, it's a different type of energy. It's a bit more serious, but with him having that orange flavor in it, it's a little bit more uplifting, a little bit more, what's the word I want to say? But playful, I guess that's the best word. Now, when we talk about orange, that's Gemini, and that's the twins. And that is a true orange color. And in fact, in the orange energy, it's about the duality of the personality. They're very creative people, and they can have they're very much into the emotional component. And so one minute they could be very happy, and the next minute their emotions are very tied into, maybe sadness or some other sort of, feeling that they have at that moment in time. And orange picks up on people. It's a very sensitive energy. And this is why Gemini are often very sensitive. But because it is an emotional energy and the energy of the twins, there is that duality component. And that can extend to a lot of things, being super creative one minute and not being very creative the next. It's really that duality. Now, Cancer, the crab, that's a combination of orange and yellow. So you can see we're progressing through, the rainbow hue and adding some of the dimensions of the color. But Cancer is that combination of orange and yellow. And my sister is a Cancer. And those are also very sensitive people, but with strong mental energy. Yellow is about the mind power. And my sister is definitely very sensitive. And, I love going to visit her because she's very nurturing. She takes care of me. She's got that very sensitive side. She's very compassionate with her emotions. But that yellow energy, she's got a lot of book smarts. She always studied a lot in school. Myself being an Aries and being, again, very, headstrong and just running into things and always, in a way getting into trouble. My sister, she's different. She's very thoughtful. And so again, there's that yellow combination of the orange, and she makes me laugh. And when she makes me laugh from the belly. It's that strong belly laugh, because again, that's that nature of that orange energy. Now, next, moving on, is Leo the lion. Now, Leo the lion is the yellow energy. And again, yellow is connected to the mind power. It's an energy of the ego. And that doesn't mean that they're egotistical by any means, but they're driven a lot by their ego. They have that, strong desire to do things in a perfectionist way. And so, they're very thoughtful. They're very, and they can be over analysts, they could be thinking very much on multiple levels. But yellow is also an optimistic energy. So Leos are often very optimistic and very fun in that optimistic way. Not like the orange, where they could be more of the comedian, but yellow can be very clever with words and having that dry sense of humor. Then we go into the lime green color, which is a combination of yellow and green. That is the Virgo and the Virgin. And yellow and green, I always think about, when you're looking at a new bud on a tree, how it's such a vibrant young green. It is that lime green. And as that tree or that leaf gets older, it starts to go through the different changes of the green. So the Virgo is that that lime green energy, somebody again who's very caring, very compassionate. Family and friends would be very important to them. And because they have that yellow energy, they love to learn new things. Now we're into the balancer, the Libra, and that is the green energy. And, for anybody who understands the power of green, that is the ultimate nurturer. It's somebody who wants to take care of the family and friends. It's the caregiver, and friends and family are going to be number one for them. They just absolutely love being surrounded by those that they love. And being the balancer, it's about giving and receiving, and sometimes they have to be careful with that balance because they might be more of a giver, and so therefore it is about attaining that balance in their life. But definitely we want to look at Libras as that compassionate, balancing energy in our life. Now, when we go on to the Scorpio, that is the combination of the green and blue. It's that turquoise hue. And that combination is, again, somebody who, family and friends are very important, but they're going a little bit to the next level of, making sure that they have the financial security. The blue energy is the planning, the organizing energy, and that combination with the green would want to take care of their family and their friends, organizing events, doing things like that encompass having the people that are, that they're dedicated to, very loyal to in their life, and making sure that they're taken care of. But slightly on a different level, the Virgo would be, or pardon me, the Libra would be more of the balancer, having, that the social component, but blue takes it to the next level. Their parties might be a little bit more elegant. So it's a little bit of a different type of energy. Sagittarius, the archer, totally blue. And so they're the ultimate planner and organizer. They can even have a little bit of OCD, and that OCD could be numbers or cleanliness, but they love to plan and organize. And they're the financial wizards. They're the ones that love to crunch numbers or, build their financial portfolio. Also very good in business. And so often they'll be, have their own businesses, or they'll be at the top of a company as a leader, because blue is about that leader energy. Then we have the Capricorn. That's the indigo energy, and that is the intuitive energy. So Capricorns are usually very sensitive on an empathetic level, very intuitive, connected to their psychic abilities. Whether they want to call it psychic or not, that's up to them, but very, very intuitive. And that is the energy of the seer, people who sort of can plan for the future or see the future, see the possibilities. Sometimes it's what I call the what if energy. What if I do this? What if I do that? Because they have that versatility to see things from multiple perspectives. And then we have the Aquarian. The Aquarian is the violet energy, and the violet energy is very connected to future. So the violets are the visionaries. They're the ones that are inspiring. They have a very charismatic personality, and they're leaders in their own right, but more on a humanitarian level. When they believe in a cause, they'll fight for that cause, but it is that visionary energy. And then the last astrological sign, we're looking at Pisces, the fish, and that is magenta. And magenta is a combination of violet and red energy, right in between, the Aries and the Aquarius. And magenta, that energy is a little bit also futuristic in a sense, but it is very much connected to universal love, light. It's a very empathetic energy as well. But magenta is almost magical in a sense. They're outside of the box thinkers. They, again, because they're very futuristic, they can sort of sense what is coming. And so, they're very intuitive on that level as well. So as you can see, every color is connected to a different astrological sign, and every color is also connected to a different planet. And I don't have my little cheat sheet for that. But, for example, when we look at Mars, Mars is the red energy, and, Earth is the green energy, and, Venus is the orange energy. So all the planets are connected to different colors as well. So when you're looking at your astrological chart, you can even get more into the different aspects of how your energy is on a personality level. And this is what I love about color. It makes the understanding of every topic unique, or more in regards to our being. And this is why when I look at, myself being an Aries and being born on a red day, and, attributes that are connected to that red, that's absolutely me. But when I did my color energy personality test, I'm actually a yellow violet. So this was really interesting for me to study from this perspective, that what's important to me is, learning new things, studying, being that researcher. And that violet energy is that visionary. I think about the future. I'm such a humanitarian in regards to saving the planet, helping future generations. But because I have a lot of red in my astrological sign, that's also what supports me. This makes me somebody who's a doer. I'm action oriented, because that's part of the red Aries personality. And because my name encompasses a lot of red and actually a lot of blue as well, you can understand even more so that I have that, that confident energy and that ability to plan and organize. So, those are the four energies that are main in my personality. But as I mentioned earlier, orange and green is sort of low on all levels. And so identifying yourself using different tests can help you further understand who you are. And this is what I love about metaphysics, is it's taking different concepts that, aren't scientifically recognized at this point, and, helping us understand more about, subjects that are out there, whether it's to do with our personality, or, whether to do with other aspects of our nature or being, and bringing it all together. And I think this is really important to discovering who you are. And for myself, that's really important. I always, tell everyone, God puts us in a physical body to have a spiritual experience, which means we have to understand ourselves, and we have to understand, the polarity of our personality. I know as an Aries, I can be very headstrong and stubborn. Also understanding that I'm a strong yellow, I have to make sure that my ego doesn't get in the way, or I'm not too much of a perfectionist. We're also having that strong violet. I have that creative energy, but sometimes I could lose sight. And this is where, I have to talk to my Aries and go, okay, we've got to ground ourselves. We've got to get back into our body, because, we have so many thoughts and ideas and visions that we have to ground. We need all colors in our life. And this is why often we're attracted to people that might have different energies than us, whether they're a different astrological sign, or whether they have a different color energy personality. There's so many things we have to look at. But when we can identify our character strengths and weaknesses, it can bring us closer together on so many levels, in personal relationships and working relationships, business relationships, with our family and friends. And in fact, that's what I do, is I look at the astrological sign of my family and friends. And I've also had them do the color energy personality test, so I could teach them further about their connection to color and how this all plays out for them. But it's also great for me, because knowing my partner is red and orange helps me understand our similarity as well as our differences. Knowing that he's a Taurus and knowing he's a red-orange person, this gives me a lot of ammunition that when we have disagreements, how can we resolve these disagreements? Because when you start getting into the colors, certain colors are more opinionated or stronger in their personalities. Others are more loving and giving. But there's no right or wrong. We need all the colors within ourselves, within, humanity, to really grow as an individual. We can't just have tunnel vision and, be in one thought or be in one mindset. We have to explore the different colors. And, I always love, talking to Inger Ness, who's the founder of her company, and she talks about the different personalities and how they, work together and complement each other. And this is what I love to share with other people. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's talk and you've learned a little bit about your astrological sign and how it connects to color. And stay tuned, because I'm always going to be talking about different subjects of color, and hope you'll join in some of our other videos. Until then, be colorful and bright and shine your light.